Coldheart is alive. If I Could Walk on Water is the track. It's a track I did a while ago, just kind of doing some sampling, just in the studio. I do a lot of tracks. So what we're gonna do is, this is one of the first of mixing with Coldheart. We got a vocal that ain't got nothing to it. One rip, you see right there, is we shot through it. No ad libs, no nothing. We're gonna EQ it. We're gonna mix the track a little bit. Ride with me. Y'all ready? Let's go. This is what we working with, so you can hear it.
If I could walk on water, I'd ask you to hold my hand. Let's go on the journey to a distant land. Inside, outside of flesh, we move. So deep up in the groove, it's unique in the vibes, the tools we use. They make kings and queens in lands of Latin silk. Shocking as words are when they come off the lip. As they enter the brain, they begin to process over and over time. The one word spitting blew your mind.
Alright, we'll work with that verse right there, alright? So let's loop that around. As you see, it's nothing on it right now.
If I could walk on water, I'd ask you to hold my hand. Let's go on the journey to a distant land. Inside, outside of flesh, we move. So deep up in the groove, it's unique in the vibes, the tools we use.
Alright, now I'm listening to it. The first thing I hear is it sound kind of basic.
They make kings and queens in lands of Latin silk. Shocking as words are when they come off the lip. As they enter the brain and begin to process over and over time. The one word spitting blew your mind. If I could walk on water, I'd ask you to hold my hand. Let's go on the journey to a distant land. Inside, outside of flesh, we move. So deep up in the groove, it's unique in the vibes, the tools we use. They make kings and queens in lands of...
See how we just a little took it off, alright? Just a little bit.
Latin silk. Shocking as words are when they come off the lip. As they enter the brain and begin to process over and over time. The one word spitting blew your mind. If I could walk on water, I'd ask you to hold my hand. Let's go on the journey to a distant land.
Lost a little volume with it. Let's go on up to the compressor.
So deep up in the groove, it's unique in the vibes, the tools we use. They make kings and queens in lands of Latin silk.
Quick way to catch up to these compressors, cause I know you might be like, nobody ever really stresses on them, and I don't really see many videos about them. So check it out. You want to set it, go ahead and smash the ratio, smash the threshold. Just kill it. And you pull your threshold back.
To process over and over time. The
all the
one
way.
Word spitting blew your mind. If I could walk on water, I'd ask you to hold my hand.
Let me tell you what you're doing right there is, because your brain now is processing it, the information all the way, the threshold all the way down, totally squashing it, and then you take it all the way back to where it's not affecting it at all. Then as you slowly twist it back towards the processing, your brain will say, okay, I can now hear when it starts to process it. And so pretty much, I think as a safety measure, you could just stop right about the time when you hear it begin to process. Go a little deeper in there if you want, a little more, a little less if you don't want to hear it at all. But you might be like, I can't even hear what he's doing, but I can slightly hear it. So when you add everything in with it, it'll hopefully blend. And you'll cause you set your compression in solo, then when the track's playing, that compression is probably not going to work. So I like to set it in solo, and then maybe, or not necessarily, every mix is different, but if I set it in solo, I throw the track in, then I tweak it with the track playing, and I'll find that sweet spot. You know, it's like this eureka moment where it like doesn't sound anymore, because it's like a puzzle, and once the piece fits the puzzle. It just kind of falls into place. And you're like, okay, I don't even notice it anymore. It's just in the mix now. I guess if you could understand that. So let's go back to work here.
Go on the journey to a distant land. Inside, outside of flesh we move. So deep up in the groove, it's unique and advised to.
Let's take that all the way back to find the ratio now.
Lands of lax and silk. Shocking as words are when they come off the lip. As they enter the brain and begin to process over and
now, technically, we could have did this. See how you can kind of hear me peeking through now? It's kind of cool.
They make kings and queens and lands of lax and silk.
Let's take it off.
Shocking as words are when they come off the lip.
Use a volume, right?
So
let's go up here.
To process over.
In case you don't know that, this could have been right here. That input could have been right there, because that's how that kind of works. So I'll give it what I lose right here, I give it back right there. Or if you have a signal that's low, instead of boosting it, I know I always jump around. Instead of boosting it from the effect or the instrument or whatever, you can go right up here and give it the gain from the board. And that's how I like to start my mix. Like, get my levels close there, and then I go down to my faders. When I get down to my faders, like I said, it's more a tighter scope. And that way I don't have to be pulling things, everything way down there and everything way up there, right? It really makes the faders do what they're supposed to do. It's like you're kind of leveling everything almost out with your gain parts, and then you're just slightly fading. Slight increments with the faders make a big difference. As you see, the mass bus compressor is not on. I guess it was something I was doing at the time. I did not know that. But let's keep working on the way we're working so it doesn't change the sound.
And over time, the one word spitting blew
now
your
let's take it
mind.
with it on.
If I could walk on water, I'd ask you to hold my hand.
Solo is
Let's
not
go
effective.
on the journey to a distant land. Inside, outside of flesh we move. So deep up in the groove, it's unique and advised the tools we use. They make kings and queens and lands of lax and
now let's
silk.
go.
Shocking is what.
Now let's go post, which means it will EQ then compress. Instead of right now it's compressing then EQing, right? So you'll hear a slight difference.
Words are when they come off the lip as they enter the brain and begin to process over and over time.
Sounds a lot smoother to me with it on there, so I typically almost always do that on vocals. So anything I want smooth and I don't want rigid. With drums, sometimes I kind of want them punchy or more rigid, not like a smooth ball type sound. I can't explain it.
I'm the one word spitting blew your mind.
Now,
if I could walk on water, I'd ask you to hold my hand. Let's go on the journey
corrective
to
EQ
a distant
first.
land. Inside, outside of flesh we move. So deep up in the groove, see the tools we use. They make kings and queens and lands of lax and silk. Shocking as words are when they come off the lip as they enter the brain and begin to process over and over time. The one word spitting blew your mind. If I could walk on water, I'd hold my hand. Let's go on a journey to a distant land. Inside, outside of flesh we move. So deep up in the groove, it's unique and advised the tools we use. They make kings and queens and lands of lax and silk. Shocking as words are when they come off the lip as they enter the brain.
Let me show you something real cool. We're gonna go to a spring reverb. Awesome. Alright. Check it out. You know, you cut your reverb up, get it right, then cut it down.
To process over and over time. And words spitting blew your mind. If I could walk on water, I'd ask you to hold my hand. Let's go on the journey to a distant land. Inside, outside of flesh, we move. So deep up in the groove, it's the weak and divine, the tools we use. They make kings and queens and lands black and silk. Shocking as words are when they come off the lip. As they enter the brain and begin to process over and over time. The one word spitting blew your mind.
First thing I look for is irritation.
To hold my hand. Let's go on the journey to a distant land. Inside, outside of flesh, we move. So deep up in the groove, it's unique and divine, the tools we use. They make kings and queens and lands of black and silk. Shocking as words are when they come off the lip. As they enter the brain.
What I'm doing there is I'm actually consistently, constantly cutting the bottom out of it over and over and over. Because these are only comb filters, people. That's what EQ is.
Into process over and over time. The one word spitting blew your mind.
In case you didn't know, 5, maybe 5, what? 5. Let's go to 540. Watch this. It's close enough. All right, check this out.
If I could walk on water, I'd ask you to hold my hand.
You hear how boxy that sounds?
Journey to a distant land. Inside, outside of flesh, we move.
So if you didn't know, I just taught you something. Go to 540 or in there. That's that box. And so you can decrease or increase that area, and it'll really make a dramatic difference in your sound. It's not the muddy area. Let's go to the muddy area next.
So deep up in the groove, it's unique and divine, the tools we use. They make kings and queens and lands of.
Now, once again, listen. I stop it so you can really hear what I'm saying. Check this out.
Black and silk. Shocking as words are when they come off the lip. As they enter the brain and begin to process over and over time. The one word spit.
It almost seems like my jaws get bigger or I get fat or something. It's like, I don't know, like I have a hard time speaking. That area is like, that's just what it is. So what is that? Now these aren't definite 212 or whatever is what it's saying here. 17. But around in that area, that's where your mud is. So if I pull both of those areas down, my boxiness, my muddiness, naturally it's gonna make my vocal sound a little clearer, right? It should.
Blew your mind. If I could walk on water, I'd ask you to hold my hand. Let's go on the journey to a distant land. Inside, outside of flesh, we move. So
now let's A and B the whole thing.
Unique and divine, the tools we use. They make kings and queens and lands of black and silk. Shocking as words are when they come off the lip. As they enter the brain and begin to process over and over time. The one word spit.
Take it all off.
If I could walk on water, I'd ask you to hold my hand. Let's go on the journey to a distant land. Inside, outside of flesh.
Without everything.
So deep up in the groove, it's unique and divine, the tools we use. They make kings and queens and lands of black and silk. Shocking as words are when they come
too
off
much
the
reverb. Now you can hear it,
enter
right?
the brain and begin to process over and over.
I appreciate y'all. Cold Heart is live mixing with Cold Heart.